All right. All right, so very good. So the card framework, since most of you have already heard about this, I am just going to give a quick little overview about what the card framework is all about. And I'm going to share my screen here. And this was something that the state board came together and really developed. We wanted to look at what we called our ends, why we do what we do, and what are our ultimate goals? Where do we ultimately want to go with our association? Yeah, we have our mission statement to advance the profession, but how are we really doing that? So back in May, we did a board and staff retreat, and this is what came out of that, is this beautiful new framework where we create community to advance our profession by sharing and developing resources, and we develop ourselves both personally and professionally and as leaders. So this beautiful new framework has now been developed for everything that we do. I know what a lot of folks have been asking lately too is, okay, here's another framework, here's another whatever that is initiative from the state board. What happened to VIP? What happened to CAP? What happened to all those other things? Well, those are still in play. They're just part of this new framework. The VIP and the CAP are really under resources in this framework because those are the tools that we need to advance the profession. Those are that's how we get things done. This is what we're doing. Those are how we get those things done. Same with Parks Make Life Better campaign. That's a tool and a resource that we can use in order to help advance the rest of the profession. So I just want to be really clear about that. Those things are all still in play, and they're still really great documents to use. That's just part of this bigger umbrella in this framework. Board members, if you have anything that you want to add in any of this, please definitely chime in at any time as well. So Jedi is another piece that we keep getting asked about as well. What about the Jedi Council, and where does that fit into all of this? Well, again, that's another tool and a resource, but really under the community piece of this framework, that's where Jedi really falls into place. How are we including everybody? Are we being accessible to everybody, both members and non-members? Are we really creating a community where everybody feels welcome and warm into this CPRS family? So just wanted to make sure that I pointed those things out to you as we're working through this this afternoon, as we're working through this framework with you all. So the other lovely thing about this is this gives us all a starting place for everything that we all do, whether it's at the district level, section level, state board level, headquarters level, that if we all come together and know that these 4 pieces are included in everything that we do, and everything that we do fits into one of these 4 pieces, how powerful is that? That we have all 15 districts headed the same direction, all 7 sections headed the same direction, headquarters, the state board. It's really just a lovely framework for all of us to really kind of start and create some goals together, and then be able to report out those goals to the general membership. Here's how we accomplished this year. Here's how we create a community. Here's how we feel we advance the profession, that type of thing. So does that all make pretty good sense to all of you, why we created this and how it might end up being useful for you all at a district or section level? Any questions or additions that any state board members might want to fill in on that? Or did I cover it pretty well? You guys are just way too easy on me. You just really, truly are. So, Doug, I
should have you do the overview instead of me. You do a much better job.
Oh, no, I don't know about that. So, all right. So we created for you an actual template that I will email you as soon as we're done here. But I just want to go through it really quickly here and make sure. Oh, hang on. You'd think that I would know how to share a screen by now, as long as we've been using Zoom, right? So let me share my screen here. And can you all see the Excel spreadsheet now? Cool. All right. So like I said, I'm going to share this with you. This is what we created at the state board and headquarters level. And this is how we are going to track the goals and actions that we're going to set forth from today forward, what we're going to do, who's going to be responsible for those pieces, give ourselves a timeline, and then we're going to be able to report out what it is that we accomplished around that goal. So I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit. We're going to save community for the last, because I think this one is one of those that's a little bit touchy-feely, a little bit fuzzy, and I want to make sure that we touch that one last. But let's talk about advancement a little bit. So advancement is really used to be advocacy. We wanted to call it advocacy at one point, but we're like, is that really what we are doing? And when we say the word advocacy, I can already see all of your faces going, nope, not interested. I don't do that. I can't do that. I'm a public employee. I can't advocate. So we really wanted to create a word that really embodies what advocacy really is, to be honest with you. And that is really advancing the profession. It's telling our story. That's what's the important thing to remember about this, is telling the story of how we are important, the vital services that we provide to make a community really vital. This is what we all achieve. Everything that you do helps advance your community, helps advance this profession, but this is really about telling the story. So how does that relate to you all as districts and sections? Almost every one of you have some kind of an awards program, right? That you do. So that's it. Tell that story. Share those stories with us at headquarters. How many of you have seen the new magazine? Right? Looks good, doesn't it? Well, we want to hear those stories. So share your stories with us. That's what this advancement framework really is all about. We want to be able to share your stories. We want to share your district and section stories. I would love to know how many of you have submitted an award for the Board 100 award yet, because I actually know how many of you have. Oh, Brooke, all right. Are you, either Brooke is admitting that she's submitted an award, or she's got a question. Do you have a question?
No, I submitted an award already.
Good job. Way to go. Way to go. Thank you. So that's a really great place, again, to tell the story of what the district or a section is doing as well. And we want to hear those stories. So really, this is all about advocating for what we do, but it's also advocating for your needs, your growth, you know, anything as a whole. So be thinking about that as you're setting your goals for this next year. How do you help advance the profession? What do you need to advance the profession? I think is another really important piece there. So any questions on this piece? Telling the story. Who's really good at telling the story? Anybody out there want to admit that they're really good at it? How many of you could use a couple of lessons in how to tell a story? I know we could too, so yes. We're all going to learn
This
together.
is what Frank's focus was last year with the yellow.
Yes, exactly, right? This is, yes, this is represented by the yellow in our flag, in our logo. So I'm going to pop over to resources now. So resources is all about, it's blue. That's the blue in our logo, in our flag. And this is really about the tools that we need, the tools that we already have. So you're going to look to headquarters a lot for these tools. And I understand that. This is where VIP and CAP come in. This is where the impact calculator will live at some point once we get that launched around conference time. Resources is really we're asking the questions, what tools do we need and what tools do we already have to help each other, but also help our members as well. So where this fits for you as well is think about the events and programs that you already do. What tools are you sharing at that event or that program? And how else can you share them? Can we share them in the online library or through the online community and maybe share that broader than just your district or section? I would venture to say yes. If you guys need it in Fountain Valley, I'm guessing that the folks up in Watsonville could probably use the same type of resource. So why would we not want to share those resources out there? So be thinking about what resources you're developing and can share and how can you share them, but also what resources do you need and what can you, Ben Dieterle, as the expert in building podcasts, how can you share that resource and teach other people about that particular resource? So is that making pretty good sense, and how you can create some goals and action strategies within this one? All right, you guys are making it too easy on me. All right, the development tool piece to this tool, this framework, is really about how are we developing as professionals? How are we developing as leaders? And so at the district and section level, be thinking about that. It is your events. It's the Region 1 Fall Forum that we're going to tomorrow, the Region 4 mini workshop that just happened. It's conference. It's all of those pieces of professional development that we do, but it's also about leadership development. How are you setting up your leadership pipeline? Are you open to new people coming in and serving as leaders on your district and section boards? Are you grooming people to come in and be leaders and giving them leadership opportunities so that they can grow and really make their way through your own presidential series and perhaps even the state board and future leadership series? So really be thinking about how we can work together on creating that leadership pipeline. I think our new online candidate submission form is going to help with that too, because now people get to see that there's all kinds of leadership opportunities throughout CPRS and all kinds of ways that people can get involved. Lauren, our new Director of Professional Development, this piece really falls under her guidance now. And we are going to be looking at a statewide framework around all of our education. You know, can we create a standard evaluation that we're all using so that we know that we're all rising to that higher level of education and looking at core competencies and things like that? Development is also about equity, right? Are we really being open and accessible and equitable when we're asking for people to step into leadership roles and doing those types of things? So any questions around that one? All right, I'm going to pop back over to community, because what happened at our leadership summit, and I think the way we tend to think about community is really about bringing people together, right? So we immediately go to an event. We immediately go to, well, we're building community because we're running an event. Well, that's true, yes. But really, this one is more about the heart. This one's red. It's about heart. It's about, you know, Doug's message this year is coming together as a community. And our passion for this profession. But it's really about how we make people feel at those events and programs and our leadership opportunities. This is really about who are we serving? Why are we serving them? How are we serving them? And who's missing? This is such an interesting conversation to have. And I really hope to see some really lovely things come out of the goals and action items in this particular area, because we have a lot of room to grow. We really do. We have about 4,000, we're almost back up to about 4,000 members, but there's a lot of folks that we're missing as well. I had a really great conversation just yesterday with Dr. Brandon Taylor and Liddy Gutfeld, and we were talking about areas of lower income and how many agencies might we be missing out because they're not members of CPRS, because maybe they don't have the budget to be able to do that. How many professionals out there might not have the support of their agencies to attend even an inexpensive section event or an inexpensive district event, let alone be able to come to conference. So that's where community really comes in, and being very intentional about how we're outreaching to those folks, our non-members, maybe to sister organizations. How are we being intentional about reaching out and really building that community and making sure everybody feels welcome, invited, that it's accessible to all of them? So that's really what community is all about. It's about the heart piece in there. I want to challenge each one of you as well in this whole framework. And as you're thinking about, especially community, is where are you hosting your events? Where are you hosting your board meetings? Is it at your location because that's what's easy for you? Or are you maybe reaching out to those agencies in your district or local area that perhaps don't know about CPRS? Well, maybe you should host a board meeting there and invite them to get involved in some way, shape, or form. So there's your challenge for the day, to really help build that community out and be thinking about those community members that we might be missing out on. So So this framework, again, is available to you. Am I telling you that you have to use it? Absolutely not. But I'm giving you this tool. I think we're handing over this tool because we think that it is a great way, again, for all of us to start at one level and really build together this community advancement, resources, and development in everything that we do. And like I said, if you think about, say, Region 1 Fall Forum tomorrow, everything that represents can be fit into one of these categories. We're building community because we've invited everybody from Region 1 and beyond to attend. We've reached out to non-members to attend. We've reached out to vendors to attend. So we're creating that community. They've made it fun, a fun theme to come and be part of the Harry Potter world of Region 1. Are they advancing the profession in some way? Yeah, because we're learning from each other, we're networking, we're putting our passion to work. Are they creating resources? Absolutely. People are going to walk away with all kinds of resources after tomorrow, and developing as professionals, but also as leaders, because leaders had to take advantage of, we took advantage of some leaders actually to plan the event. So you've also increased your leadership skills in that too. So you see that it can go both ways. This can be everything that we do fits into one of these categories, but all four of these categories fits into everything that we do. So I just wanted to really wanted you to think about it in that way, shape, and form. These are the things that we're thinking about here at headquarters as well. We had a staff retreat a couple of weeks ago, and we're really thinking about everything that we do, especially now with such a new force here at headquarters. What a lovely opportunity it is for us to evaluate everything we do and really determine where that all fits, and if all four categories are being represented in everything that we do. So, all right, I'm going to stop talking now and take a drink. And Doug, yes, you want to fill in some gaps?
No, not gaps. I just want to kind of, as I've been speaking everywhere, I always ask, who's at a CPRS event for the first time. And, at the aging symposium, I think you probably had maybe a quarter of the people had been or new. Today in Region 4, I'd say at least over a third had never been to a CPRS event before. And I even asked today in Region 4 how many have been on the website. Less than half raised their hand. So what that tells me is what I already kind of know, is that we have a lot of new members. We have a lot of new staff that are coming in. You all have them in your organizations. And I think that was really part of the driving force. Is this is a great opportunity to kind of reframe what we're doing with CPRS, not change what we're doing, but kind of give a new lens for everybody to look at. And that's what these are about. So it's a good time. People are open to it. And I think it's going to be a great way to move forward.
Thank you, Doug. Yes. Well, excuse me. Any questions? Any comments? You like it? Don't like it? Don't be shy. Come on, folks. No? Everybody good?
I do have one question, Stephanie. I'll
Yes,
start it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm with District 2 board, and we have an advocacy rep position that we've had for the past couple years.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, how should we recruit for this position now? The same way?
That is a really, really, really fabulous question. We are actually looking to revamp our advocacy team. We will be creating an 8th section here very soon. And that is going to be really full of commissioners and board members and folks a little bit outside of us to really work on that advocacy piece. So I'm going to be honest with you. I would hold off on recruiting an advocacy person right now and
Okay.
let us get that all worked out. And then we'll come back to you folks and really let you know what that's going to look like.
Sure.
So,
okay.
Yeah, stay tuned
Thank
on that
you.
one. Yeah. Now, obviously, if you've got somebody that is like a diehard advocate and they want to know everything about legislation, please send them my way, because we need those folks too. We want some people who are really smart about that and really enjoy digging into legislation. We want some of those folks. So if you have them in your midst, please send them my way.
Okay.
Okay. I think I saw a hand up at some point, but I don't know. Anyone else have any questions, thoughts, concerns? Thumbs up? seriously, I mean, you all want an extra half hour back in your life, don't you? Don't ask any questions. Let's get done.
I know I'm driving 7 hours, so I'm good with staying on. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh. Oh. How about state board members? Anything that you would add, or any words of wisdom, or maybe even thoughts about how we came to this new framework?
I think I'll take a stab at it, Stephanie. I think the most important thing that Stephanie mentioned today is this is our how. So I think for the last couple of years, I heard our why. I think we're all very passionate as professionals, and we're all engaging and really trying to capture the leaders that are up and coming, and encouraging them to move forward. But this is definitely our how, and it's going to be real important for the sections and districts to work together. And to make sure that all the letters of the CARD are implemented in what we do. And
Right.
it's kind of just like our little guidance, our little yellow brick road, so to speak. And I think that's really going to help us connect with our membership, future leaders, and just throughout CPRS in general. So it's definitely our how. So I always say, like, what's my why? And I think Tom was a big influence on me, obviously. But now it's like, what's our how?
Yeah, I love that. And I love your analogy about the yellow brick road. That's what a perfect, you're so good at that, Janine. Thank you. I love that. And Danielle put in the chat that, yes, this is a great way to structure your board retreats, to really talk about everything that you do and how you want to accomplish each one of these things. It's a beautiful way to structure your board retreats. Love it. And I tell you what, any one of the board members that are on here today, or myself, we'd be happy to come and help you facilitate that as well. So if you want an outside influence, and if not, that's okay too. But if you do, we're available. So.
And I want to tag on to what Janine said, because Janine was absolutely right on this. Is the how we're going to be doing a lot of things. But I think a lot of it is just being intentional about what we do. I mean, I know we do a lot of things, and we do a lot of things because they all fit into it. And what we do fits in the card. Card will fit into what we do very easily. But I think it's just about being more intentional about what it is that we do and focusing on each of those different areas and those different components, and taking a little bit of a step back to go say, we may have done this for a long time, but why do we do this? And here's,
Right.
Here's how we can quantify that a little bit more. And it's nothing new. It really isn't anything new that we're not already doing. It's, representing the different colors that are the lifeblood of what it is that CPRS is. It's just putting different words to it and be able to explain it a little bit more to our membership, and to our leaders as well, of what it is that we are going to be doing and how we can be able to do that. And for each of us to be able to explain it to, our other boards, to our members, of why are we doing what we're doing. So
Yeah, that's good. Intentionality is such an important word, right? And you're right. Are we doing things just because, or are we being intentional about what we're doing and how we're doing that? So love that.
I think too, just to piggyback on what the two of them just said, I think that, obviously there's 22 people on this call out of all the leaders that we have. So all of you are now the knowledge holders of this information, and whether, there's other people that aren't on here, that were at the leadership training or leadership summit, and some of you have been on both, and then now have people that have not been in either. So they've never seen it, or they've seen it, but they don't understand it. So I think that you guys hold the power, right? So now you guys have to take it back to your districts and sections and figure out how, like Adam was saying, use it as a tool, integrate it into what you do, use it in your planning, and show them why this is important, and not just another, pretty piece of paper that Stephanie attached to an email and says, here's a new thing, we should use it, but why? And like, what does that look like? And be the advocate for it too, based on what you've learned, because they're not going to know that firsthand from, not being able to attend or hearing it anywhere. So
Right.
I think that's, you guys are an important part in this, just like the state board is, and HQ is carrying this forward.
Absolutely. And Joy, you asked in the chat, yes, everything's going to be available to you. In fact, as soon as I get the recording from today, I'll attach that along with both the graphic and the template, and I'll send that to everybody so that you will have that. And I think Jenny's absolutely right. You now hold the power to help us spread the word here. We are all available to help out with that as well, especially if you have any questions, or if somebody starts questioning well, what's this? Is this just another CPRS thing? Well, no, it isn't. It's really, really the how and the getting our arms around everything that we do and being intentional about what we're doing and why we're doing it. So, yes, Nick.
Yeah, well, thanks for the session today, and thanks for the framework as well. I think it's going to be super helpful. I'm definitely planning on using this to kind of build the agenda for our admin section retreat in the next few months. But was wondering if the state board or if HQ is going to want some kind of report back from the districts and sections at the end of the year on kind of progress made in each of the different areas, or if that's going to be compiled in some way, shape, or form.
Ideally, yes, we would love to have that back. That's why we created this actual template, so that if you could put that in there and report out some outcomes, we will actually collect that and try to do an entire statewide annual report. Probably sometime, next year, right around conference time, maybe right after conference, so that we can really wrap up our year. So how beautiful and powerful will that be to be able to report out from everybody, not just headquarters, not just the state board, but from all of you. So yes, we will be doing that. Colleen, our new community engagement coordinator from here at HQ, will be the one in touch with you over the year to say, hey, how's it going? How can we help you, assist you with any of this? Don't forget to fill out that template so that we can collect that at the end of the year and put that together. So yes, thank you. Now, which one of you graphic artists want to help me put together that strategic, that annual report? You can message me offline. I like that. So Trisha, I see you're off mute. You want to add
Thank you,
something?
Stephanie. And Nick just hit it on the head, right? I just wanted to say thank you to all of you on the call and for taking your time to engage with this framework and be the voice of the framework moving forward and create those work plans. I think as a member of the state board, and the state board in general is really excited to continue to build our work plan as a state board and to see the results of what you're doing in the state and statewide. It's really, what's on paper is super important, but to engage with all of you in how you're delivering this is fantastic. So thank you, and can't wait to hear about it.
Fabulous. Thank you. Well, unless there are other questions, I think that's all I had for you today. Doug, any last words that you'd like to share with the team?
Am I off mute? Yeah, I am. Okay. No, just as echo, thank you for joining the call. I really appreciate it. That's what leaders do, and you guys are great leaders. I know all of you, and I really appreciate what you're doing. And yeah, we'll be talking about it more as we get to conference as well. Yeah, thanks for being in your positions and helping CPRS move forward.
Yay. Thank you so much. And thank you all for being here. I do have to put a little asterisk out there and throw this out to you. If you have had any challenges with conference housing, please accept our apologies. Leap Day has thrown everything into a tizzy. So yeah, that's the issue, is that Thursday night of conference. So if you have been on the conference housing website and have had troubles booking a room, just be patient, keep trying. They're adding more rooms. It was a whole thing. It's hopefully getting fixed right now. So there you go. There's my groveling for today. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being here. Like I said, you'll be getting an email from us here at headquarters with the recording of this today, so you can share that with the rest of your leaders, but also the forms that we talked about today too. So, and again, know that we're here. Reach out with any questions, concerns, thoughts, ways to improve. We're always looking for that too. So thank you all. Have a great rest of your afternoon.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all.